Greetings, students, and welcome to Week 4, Microsoft Excel. I know for many of you, based on the discussion forums, this week is something that you were either looking forward to or intimidated about. And I just want to encourage you, if you are intimidated about Microsoft Excel, this is a tool that you can definitely grow to love. It's one of the things that you'll find once you learn the basic functionality, you will find applications for throughout your own life as well as in business and in ministry. We are going to be doing 4 different assignments for this week. Each of them will be a spreadsheet, and each assignment builds on the previous. In general, the first 2 assignments will be to establish the basic functionality of Excel and creating spreadsheets and building a chart. And then the second 2 assignments will build on that and go over how to add in formulas and functions and formatting in the Excel spreadsheet. Before we get started, I wanted to address the scriptural question that comes each week in the discussion questions. I haven't seen too many of you interacting with the role of technology as a worldview, or a Christian worldview specifically, so I'd like to encourage you to, in this week's discussion forum, to interact with the points that we have each week in this video on the role of technology in your life as a Christian. For this week, I have a simple question for you to consider, and that is technology helping or hurting your relationship with God? We'll circle back to the answer on that, but just something for you to think about for the moment. So to begin, this is the example of the first spreadsheet that you will be completing in the class, as well as the chart that will be produced. You can see it's a basic budget worksheet, and it has totals and all the things that you would typically see in Excel. So one of the most fundamental features of Microsoft Excel is the ability to use the auto sum feature. I'm going to walk you through the process of how that works in this spreadsheet, your first assignment. So the first thing I want to do is select this cell here. And now I'm going to go up to this button here, auto sum. You can see it's trying to give me an area as to which cells I want to summarize or get the total for. And if I grab it and pull it up like that and then adjust it here, I can select the cells I want, and now you can see it's giving me a total for those particular cells from B9 to B16. So it's pretty simple to get a summary in any spreadsheet. Now that I've got a summary for that particular value, we can, instead of having to do that on every single cell, I can have that same rule populated into multiple other cells. And I'm showing you a screenshot of how that's done here. But let me illustrate it. So once again, we have our sum total right there in this cell. Now if I want to apply that to all the cells to the right, I simply grab the corner and drag it over here. And so automatically it now knows, in this case you can see at the top here, that's the sum for C9 to C16. It's the sum of that column. So real easy to take a calculation that you've established in one cell and populate it to the other by dragging the corner of the cell across the row or down a column to tell Excel to populate the other columns in the same way. One of the things that took me a while to learn how to do, it's a simple thing, and I wanted to include this for you so you don't struggle with this, is simply centering the title of a spreadsheet. Your assignment is going to call for you to have the title centered, as you can see here. And the reason why it may not be real intuitive is that Microsoft Excel is obviously based on columns and rows. And so when you first enter the title on a spreadsheet, it's going to be in one particular column, in this like A1 for example here. So for that particular row, we want it to spread across the entire range of this spreadsheet, but not for all of them. So let me illustrate how this is done. So here you can see in this spreadsheet I've got two titles. Now if I drag my mouse across to the right and select the whole row, I can then hit the merge and center button. It's very simple right there. And do the same thing for row 2. I drag across to the right and hit merge and center. Now, of course, I can begin to edit that and add my fonts and desired look for this spreadsheet. So to format a worksheet, once you have the worksheet in the basic functionality that you need as far as the totals, to add some formatting to it, much like we saw with Microsoft Word and Microsoft PowerPoint, there is various styles that we can have applied. And so that's what I'm going to show you here, how we can do. So you can see my row 3 here is just basic text. What I'm going to do is select that, go up to cell styles, and then I'm going to go down to heading 1, and instantly you can see it's added the heading font to that particular row. And then my total row here is also just standard text. And now I can go up to here, once again cell styles, and then choose total. So pretty simple to add in the formatting in the way that we did with Microsoft Word and PowerPoint.